Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another episode of World of Tanks. I'm your host, TedTokez. Let's get right into it. As you can see, we start this one off by landing a couple peek and pop shots on that front line for the first encounter. We make a rotation there, and then as we rotate, we start to land a couple more shots in on the second rotation, getting some deflection and dodge as we rotate around. Trying to keep into, our Overwatch's territory so that we could actually get support. So we can't really just keep rotating inside the enemy territory, but that's alright. We find a way to keep rotating in a way to where when we make a push, we can get a couple points off. We see an enemy use a smoke that we can take advantage of ourselves. And we just continue to try and dodge and deflect bullets. Now I'm reloading while I push in there, but I'm going to still try and distract some of the enemy barrels. Even though I'm reloading, I'm waiting on my bullets. I'm going to make them kind of contact with the enemy there. We throw a smoke. And as you see, I keep rotating here, keeping my, we want to make sure we're not rotating and giving them the straight shots when we rotate. But as we push down, we finish that guy with the team's help, and then we can just move on to the next one. So this is one of the matches. It was pretty clear. You know, it was pretty. It's not much to it, It was just once the team started actually getting in the gear, helping us take an enemy out one at a time, we were able to. And then gradually we just got all the enemies without losing any of our tanks. Pretty good match, we only lost a few teammates total. Waiting on my reload to get these last couple of points. And as you can see, I shoot down my barrel trying to get a couple more points before they're all taken up. And there you go, nice little match right there. Good job light tanking, I think. Game gave me some recognition, first place. We got the epic victory, so that's cool, And then we got our next match. We're gonna head on in. Front lines again, first encounter. Making the initial spots on the enemies. We try to make an impact to the enemies while not getting damaged too much. And we do an okay job at that this time. As we make our escape back to our home team so that we can get some actual team support from the Overwatch, we start to turn around and go back in. We notice the teammates are actually kind of progressing a little bit, so we try to maintain our position with the crowd and get the points where we can, distract the enemies where we can. Simple stuff. It's just the same stuff as always, really. Get some good points where I can. Boom. Now, as you can see, I'm taking a chance driving out here in the middle of the field. I got that tank right there that I'm not going to be able to finish with a full stack, and so I'll have to reload. They'll be able to shoot me while I'm reloading. So it's already more dangerous than normal, but it's alright because we got so many teammates here actually pushing forward that I'm able to just kind of drive around and evade the danger as it is, It's not that dangerous whenever, a 1v1's not so bad when there's at least one Overwatch supporting, you know what I mean? You're already going to have an easier chance. That's just why Overwatch is, honestly, it's a good thing, but only when it's actually Overwatch. There's too many people trying to play Overwatch and not even be Overwatch. They're like the thing is, you can be Overwatch on the front line. You don't have to be way back there out of the battle to be Overwatch. That's not what makes Overwatch Overwatchers.
They're trying to capture our base.
Got some nice rotations going on here. I'm trying to, you know, not let them cap our base and get some of these enemies that we're trying to create a ruckus down here on our home plate. I land the rest of my stack into that guy, and as I'm maneuvering around, I slam into that guy. Slam into that tank for a nice little Ramsky damage. We take the attention of his barrel, and he's not really able to do much with it. We get our bullets in time, but he sets us on fire, so it really does put a nice little chunk of extra damage on our health bar. It doesn't finish us off, so you know, luckily we're able to continue on to this last tank and try to get a piece of it. As you can see, I take a couple shots, get one, and then that's the end of that match, you know. Again, the team was actually working together, and you notice how easy it was to overcome the enemies, whether it was one at a time or a small group or even maybe a decent sized group of them as the team progressed. Here we are in our third match now. Now, this one here, I did a little bit differently than the other ones. The other ones I had Overwatch supporting me. This one, I wouldn't say I have any support at all. It's really just me driving around the enemies, you know, dodging and deflecting what I can, as well as, you know, trying to impact them where I can. As you can see, I had to drive into the city just to like kind of see what they were doing, and they weren't really doing anything, you know. It was just a bunch of tanks trying to mess around with one. You know, it wasn't much going on. So we end up driving down the other side of the town, and we get some points on that tank before the teammate finishes them off. And when we turn around, we notice there's some more enemy tanks, kind of in close proximity, you know, for us to able to get a part of. Slowed down in the water. Once we reload, we're able to start sending shots. Now I'm trying to drive on the part of the terrain of the water that's not going to make me submerged as much. However, I did drive in the center of that part, which was going to make me be submerged. Oh, I died to a ram damage. Somebody speared me like. And as you can see, it was a 2v1 there at the end. These fucking idiots both went at the same direction. One of them got blown up, you know, and then the other one shot. He went and hid over there, and dude chased him around right behind him, shot him. You know, so they're just not that smart, you know. That's why I say oftentimes whoever's the last alive is probably the reason that the team's dead. It's not always the case, but you know, I mean, there's many a times where I'll be able to show you guys me on the front line in my armadillo driving around, you know, closest one to the enemies the whole game, getting shot at probably the most out of anybody, and I'll be the last one alive, you know. But that's just how the games go sometimes. That's why they really gotta. They put the players in a between a rock and a hard place. Like when nobody on the team is playing as a team, it makes the fact that it's a team-based game really difficult. Now, as you can see, they just killed one of our teammates right there. However, I was able to make a flank rotation and get some points off of them during the process of them doing that. Now, that's just a benefit because that was already going to happen, right? My extra damage counter move was just a bonus. But that's what I mean by the fact that it's a team-based game. Those things can't happen if I'm playing solo. If I was doing this on my own, I couldn't use a teammate's maneuvering choices or choice of positioning, whether they're standing still or not, you know, whether they're all choosing to sit in one square and actively not even help each other while holding hands, you know. That's their choice. I can't play the game for them any more than certain players like me already have to play the game for them. The players that play Overwatch and think that they get, you know, first place, you know, 10,000 damage, and they think they played the game for anybody else. No, they didn't. It doesn't matter if they didn't even have one scout scouting for them while they did that. They hid alongside everybody else. They didn't actually battle. They didn't actually participate. See, there's a difference between somebody who gets 10,000 damage while not getting shot at, or even being able to be seen by the enemies, let alone auto-locked, and somebody who goes up there and gets their 2-3 kills worth of damage actually having to earn it. You know, in the process of the enemies trying to stop them and get their points using your health to get them their points, you're still getting your points. You don't, and that's why I say they don't need to play Overwatch. If they play Overwatch, they're gonna ruin their gameplay. They're gonna make themselves bad players. They're gonna really hinder the ability for them to develop the skill that the experience alone will develop over time. They're not gonna get much development and skill sitting back playing Overwatch. That's why they still lose so often doing that. That's why it still comes down to the front line. If you notice, a lot of games, when the front line has a good game, we win. When the front line has a bad game and Overwatch has a good game, we still can lose. It's a lot less likely for our team to lose if the front line has a good game and the Overwatch has a bad game, compared to if the Overwatch has a good game and the front line has a bad game. We're a lot more likely to do better in one of the situations only. Like, for example, this match. Now, I didn't have the whole match, but as you can see, it came down to me and one teammate versus 3 tanks, and I had already killed a few tanks before these final 3 tanks that I have to endure and overcome. We just managed to get that one, and as I'm rotating, I'm trying to position myself in a way that the Overwatch teammate can help me. However, I don't think I'm going to get that support, as you can see. So, as I time my reload, I'm now trying to dig into that enemy while I can. I notice I'm crashing into too many buildings, and that's likely what slowed me down enough right here for them to get me. If I would have stayed in the pathway and then turned left as I looked like I was going to, I think I would have probably made the decisions in the time frame that it is required to make those decisions. And but they get us, you know, we fail. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it, and if you enjoy them, check out another one.